Welcome once again to RNS Podcast. I am Dylan.
And I'm Evan.
Happy
Halloween!
Happy Halloween!
Yay.
This will likely go up on Halloween Day, so if you're watching it with us, happy Halloween, and I hope you have a great day.
Me too.
But, Evan, our listeners should be wary.
Oh.
And they should follow the rules of the holiday.
Oh.
Else Sam will come and wreak his revenge on them.
Trick or treat. Yay.
Oh, trick or treat.
But, before we get to trick or treat.
However,
we must say, Dylan, is there anything that you want to say?
Dune sucks!
Is that, okay. So I was like, I want to talk about Dune really quick. But I was like, is there anything else? Or should we just talk about Dune real quick?
Well, since we have you right here, right off the top, please like this video because it will help us out. I'm sure you hear that from every other YouTuber, but it does help. And also, if you watch
they say it because
it's
true. They say it because
it's true. It will help us out. And also, if you have any thoughts on Dune or Trick or Treat, let us know. We'd like to see what you have. And also, I have a little policy, Evan, that I think we talked about. I like to do like the comment. One of the creator-like things. One of them on each video. So if you get it, you're special, and I like your comment the best.
Oh, you want to do it for one person?
Yes.
Okay.
I know that's kind of why the pin comment's there, but I prefer like the just one clean
I can respect
channel like.
I can respect that.
Yeah, I like that.
I can respect that.
All right, so Dune, Evan. Let me lead because I have a softer opinion on Dune.
Well, softer?
I have a
define softer.
My feeling. I have a softer reaction.
I guess that makes sense, yeah.
I don't know, whatever. Dune sucks.
Okay, so Dylan did not like... Well, I don't know.
I did.
You liked it?
But Evan,
this was my favorite movie of the year so far.
For some context...
Well, the year's almost over. I can't imagine anything beating it at this point, but...
What's his name? The director, sorry.
Oh, Denis Villeneuve. I don't know.
Denis Villeneuve.
Villeneuve,
Is that right? Not a huge fan. Me?
Well, you didn't like Blade Runner 2049 either.
Blade Runner was a freaking snooze fest.
And then the year Blade Runner 2049, that was my favorite movie of the year then also. So, his sci-fi should work for me.
Something about Dune just dragged for me.
It's very strange. I've seen, so some people have said like they felt like it drags, and then other people were like, well, this shit went by. For me, it was like, there was like no filler at all in it for me. Didn't drag.
I don't think there was any filler, but I think... I'm just saying, in my opinion, just for this movie, I think there's just... Some shit lingers a little too long, and... I don't know, there's nothing that's like... Nothing that's super punchy, I guess. It looks great. And
it looked beautiful.
And I actually do really like the whole... Like, it's kind of like the Chosen One thing, like that whole trope. But I think it's done better here than in a lot of things. There's some interesting stuff they do with it. But outside of that, I'm like, I don't know. I don't really like the designs of like the ships and stuff. I do like some of the costumes. And I like some of the characters, but it just doesn't all quite add up for me. But I did like it. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Just something about them. It worked for me. I really loved the world building in it. I don't know. I really like big epic sci-fis that also really focus on like very like I don't want to say slow, but like dramatic moments instead of just like where it's constantly action. You know what I mean?
Well, I do.
I like sci-fi, science fiction, and where they can mix it with drama, where it works really well. I feel like they did that well in this. Personally, I like that a lot.
I liked it.
Like having a drama set in a, not that this is a drama necessarily, but it has a lot of dramatic elements.
It's a lot more dramatic than most blockbusters. Yeah.
Than like an MCU movie, for example.
Remember that tweet that was like, it was a tweet or a Letterboxd review or something that we saw, and it was like, this movie is so humorless, I hated it.
Was it about Dune? Yeah. I don't remember.
I think so, right?
It was. I mean, there isn't much humor.
No, because he was like, there's one joke by Jason Momoa in the beginning, and then there's no jokes.
I will say this: this might be. It's not the worst part of the movie, but there are a couple times where it did kind of seem like, let's throw in an MCU-esque joke in it, and they really don't land well.
I didn't even notice them.
It's not too heavy-handed. It's like that part where he's like, "Oh, you're building some muscle." And he's like, "Oh, really? No." You know what I'm talking about?
That's what he was talking about. Yeah, he was like, there's one joke.
I would think I was like, yeah, that did feel a bit MCU-esque.
That felt forced.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, it felt like a Warner Brothers like producer or something was like, Yeah, just get in a little something like that
Jason
here and there.
Momoa is silly. Make him say something silly.
Yeah, exactly.
Timothy Chalamet is a twink. Make fun of him.
And every time every time him and Jason Momoa saw each other, he always said, "My boy." It was like him channeling Aquaman. But whatever.
I fuck with Jason Momoa.
No, I thought he was really good in it. I see a lot of people apparently were like, yeah, Jason Momoa was amazing in this movie. And it was strange. When me and Joey saw the movie, Joey doesn't like Jason Momoa, but Joey was like, yeah, I thought Jason Momoa was really good in it.
Joey is my coworker and Evan's brother.
Yes. Well, if you watch a podcast consistently, you should know this by now.
Well, guess what? Hey, go watch the backlog and maybe you'll understand the lore.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
idiot.
We've referenced Joey multiple times.
Hell yeah. Joey's the GOAT. I fucking love Joey. But, yeah, Jason Momoa, I fucked with him. Who do you think gave the best performance in Dune?
This is like, really well acted, which I also really enjoyed. I thought everybody went great in it.
I think maybe Timmy.
I'm about to say, I think he does carry them. I don't mean he carries it, but he's the focus of the movie.
Yes.
So he has a lot more room to work, stuff to work with.
Yeah,
I guess, so.
he just gets more visibility.
Yeah, he went great in it. I thought Anker Isaac was also really good.
I wanted to mention real quick.
I remember when I saw Grace's review, she was like, yeah, Anker's like the weak link in the cast. But I thought he went good. That's just me, though.
I don't think there's literally nothing. Okay, maybe Zendaya. I was going to say nothing stands out as bad. Zendaya's maybe a little bad. But
it's like she's not even in it too much.
She's
I read she only has like 7 minutes
effectively,
of screen time in a movie that's over 2.5 hours long.
She basically has like a model photo shoot that's like strewn throughout the movie.
Kind of, yeah. That's a good way to put it. Yeah.
And then she has like one scene at the end.
Yeah. Maybe I can see, because it's like, I don't know. I don't know if I'm like, oh, that's Zendaya. You know, if that takes me out of it a bit.
It takes me out of it a little bit too. But I don't know. Just the whole like, you don't know anything about her. And then she comes out and she's like, oh, I'm just like a strong warrior. And it's like, I thought you were like a magical person or something. Like, he'd be dreaming about you and everything. I don't know. She just comes out and she's kind of just acting like...
I think because it has something to do with, like, his future. But I don't know. I'll reserve judgment on her performance until part 2. Because
she doesn't get enough time.
Yeah,
she doesn't get enough time.
Oh, and also part 2 has been confirmed.
Oh, now, yeah. So there you go.
Yeah,
Dune,
exciting.
Dune part 2 is coming. But I was just going to say earlier, I do hate Star Wars. I hate how every movie is like, we're gonna blow up the world and then we have to save the world, and the MCU too, and a lot of blockbusters these days. But I do appreciate how Dune reels it in, and it's a smaller scale, but there's still like cool stuff to see. But I was just gonna say, like, I think there's maybe a middle ground, because I feel like this movie was almost afraid to get too flashy.
I can see what you mean.
I think
the flashiest it gets is like the end when him and his mom are running away from the worm. I think that's like the big set piece in the movie.
I wasn't even a huge fan of that.
I really liked that scene a lot. I really liked it.
And also there's scenes, I mean, that's nitpicking. I don't want to nitpick on
also, there were 2 of those scenes. It was the one with him and his mom. That one felt like more big, I guess. But there was also the one with him and Josh Brolin when they were getting like the workers out or whatever.
Right.
And then the worm is coming.
Yeah, and like
there was that too.
He's like Timmy, our beautiful curly-headed boy. He's
high off the spice.
He's fucking, this dude's faded.
Yeah, he is faded.
And he's just staring off into space, right? And Josh Brolin saves him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that scene a lot more, because I think when they were just running from the sandworm, I was kind of just like,
just looked, the night on Arrakis looked really cool.
It looks great.
I saw someone else mention this. The way they film like the night scenes here, I don't know, it just looks really cool.
Because there's a lot of cheapness in terms of like when people film at night in Hollywood.
Yeah, I think so.
Like people kind of just accept that like if you film, for example, like in the woods at night, it's just gonna look a certain way.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, well, we have to just artificially light this. There's no other way. But yeah, it looked great. The movie in general looked great. I have no complaints about that. Except, I mean, I guess some of the designs I didn't super vibe with. I really like the dragonfly ships and some of the costumes.
Yeah, I thought the ships, they weren't like anything amazing, stand out-ish. They looked kind of generic, but I did like the dragonfly ones. I agree with that.
Those were cool.
Yeah, but like as far as like the big ships, they weren't on like some Star Wars shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They were kind of pretty standard.
But this is definitely better than Disney Star Wars, man.
Oh, of course.
Yeah,
of
fuck
course.
Disney Star Wars. Yeah, fuck that shit to death.
Easily.
There's no way. Do you have any more thoughts on Dune?
Well, I could talk more about it, but you know, we should probably get into trick or treat.
Well, how long we got?
We got 10.
We were only 10 minutes in. We could talk a little bit more about Dune. if you don't want to hear more about Dune, skip until we're not talking about Dune. We're not going to put a timestamp.
Well, I wanted to say also, I don't like. I do like. We mentioned this a little bit, but I just want to talk about the ending. I do like that the action wasn't like super flashy. I don't know, that fight scene at the end. I really liked it a lot because it just felt so real. Which it just felt like not brutal, but like very, it just felt like a street fight. You know what I mean? Which I liked a lot.
Yeah, there wasn't.
It wasn't like them doing like 100 backflips and explosions or anything.
Yeah, it wasn't like that. Like
it was a good way to end it.
The Star Wars prequels or like the MCU or like the Matrix.
It was kind of like, and this, we were just talking about Disney Star Wars, but when I saw The Force Awakens, I liked it a lot. And The Force Awakens is a good movie. We were talking about this earlier.
If there's any movie that contends with this, it's Force Awakens.
It reminded me a bit of the ending fight at the end, The Force Awakens. Kind of. It wasn't as flashy as that, but also that fight's not super flashy either. It feels kind of real.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like that. That's probably my favorite lightsaber fight in the sequel trilogy.
I mean, what the fuck else is there?
Well, I mean, the throne room fight in The Last Jedi was good, but I like the Force Awakens one better. And then,
Yeah, if fucking reflecting on it, the sequel trilogy, Force Awakens is like, maybe we'll talk about Star Wars another day.
Yeah.
But let's not fucking... No, because I even mentioned to Evan before we filmed this, I was like, I'm glad we haven't done a Disney movie all month. Like, that's sweet. Fuck Disney. But what were we just talking about? Dune, about the end fight. It felt cheap to me, the way that he just kind of picks on Timmy and he wants to fight him. I mean, I get that they're like, oh, we have a different warrior culture, and I get that, but it just felt like, do we really need to do this right now? And I felt like that scene dragged on quite a long time.
Really? It was really quick.
I felt like it dragged on a little bit because he just kept being like, let's fight, and then they get ready for the fight, and Zendaya's like, you can't leave, and then like, just fight this dude and,
I liked it.
and be done with it.
The fight was good.
But I agree with the fight itself and the stakes of the movie and everything like that. It was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, the scale and the actual fight itself was good. And I really liked how, like, they did a pretty cool job, like, showcasing, like, Paul.
Yeah.
I don't want to keep calling him Timmy, but Paul,
it's all good.
His reluctance to kill.
Yeah, that's what I say. So I felt like it was a good ending for part one going into that, because I felt like, well, there was your moment of character development.
Yeah.
Him kind of like, I guess, accepting the stakes.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a way to put it, but
it makes sense.
Kind of hardening himself for what's going to happen in the next part, I guess.
Because in a lot of good movies, they'll kind of intertwine a physical challenge or a feat with, like, a character moment.
Yeah.
And his reluctance and then acceptance in, like, killing somebody, and then after that, he kind of accepts his role in this new society where, like, it's like, well, I had to change to adapt and I'm going to stay here. That was my plan or whatever. So I'm just going to have to do it your way. That kind of thing. I like that. But I feel like one of the bigger reasons, outside of just, like, I feel like it gets a little long in the tooth, as they say. I guess we discussed that. But my other main complaint about it is it really does feel like half a movie. Not half a movie, but it feels like half a story.
I remember at the very end of it, I was like, oh shit, I have massive blue balls right now. Very first time I was like, oh shit, because I fucking loved it, and I was like, oh fuck.
I didn't like it enough.
I was happy part 2 got confirmed right away, but I was like, at that moment, I was thinking like, because I saw it that Thursday night, and I was like, I didn't know if part 2 gonna fucking happen. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, but
I didn't like it enough to care that much, but at the same time, I was like,
it's still annoying that
it doesn't feel satisfying.
Yeah.
And it doesn't feel sad. It's like, at least it's in a different way than like an MCU movie, where it's like the MCU is kind of like, sorry to bring up the MCU, but the MCU is kind of like, oh Jesus Christ, like this is just gonna keep going, like on and on forever. But
every movie though has even though they do that, they still have contained stories. This is very much, like we said, very much just half a story.
But for me, I'm like, well, Dune isn't going to be the MCU. At least I don't think it will be. I think it's going to be like Dune 2 is going to come out and it's going to be awesome and it's going to like be done. Like, maybe not be done, but like they'll complete the other half and it'll be fun. Like, we won't.
That'll be all we need.
It won't be 10 years of this.
Yes.
So that's all right. I can respect that.
One more thing I'll say though also is the sound design was amazing, in my opinion.
Sound design was good.
I really liked, because we saw it at the fucking Dolby Theater or whatever. Whenever you use the voice I was like, oh, it sounded so cool.
The voice sounded great, and also I mentioned this to you after the movie, Evan. The one scene where they're flying in that little dragonfly ship.
Yeah.
And it kind of it's only showing like close-ups like right outside of the windshield or like inside the actual ship. And they're kind of, I think, what are they flying from? Are they flying from a storm? I don't remember.
Yeah, they go inside the storm.
Yeah.
Like the sand.
They're flying through the storm. Yeah. That part, like, that sounded fucking insane in Dolby.
It did.
That sounded fantastic. That was the best Dolby experience I think I've ever had. I don't like Dolby too much, but that was awesome.
I agree. You know, they keep marketing this movie like, "Oh, you have to see it in IMAX." That's like really the big thing they're marketing for. But I think it's true. I feel like you should see the movie on like a really big screen and with the good speakers.
And if you got glasses, bring your glasses.
Yeah, and do that too.
I didn't bring my glasses.
But I think it wasn't like what was that horrible movie we saw where I had to tell you what was happening on screen because you couldn't see it? Candyman.
It was Candyman.
Yeah. I don't think there was any moment like that.
There was a murder going on in Candyman, and I was like, what's happening? Why are they showing this still? And it was a murder.
Yeah, and I had to explain to Dylan that there was a murder happening.
So
that movie, though, so it didn't matter.
But Dune, Evan.
Dune, great movie.
You want to wrap it up on Dune? Any more thoughts on Dune?
I think I've said.
Oh, I did want to mention those specifically. We didn't really talk about it. Just the reason I thought Timmy was the best actor in the movie. That scene where he's just the fact that he can face act like that with just his hand.
In the box. Okay, that was a great.
That was fantastic. Yeah, that was really great on him. He's the next Daniel Day-Lewis.
Some may say that.
Yeah, some fucking genius characters on YouTube maybe say that. Yeah, that's a reference to John Campea. I don't want anyone to feel left out. But yeah, Timmy, deadass, great actor, and everyone else was good in the movie. So
I agree. The only person I would say wasn't, but also they weren't in it too much either. Kind of like what you're saying about Zendaya, but this was more where I'm like, yeah, I don't know.
Actually,
Dave Bautista
actively didn't like it. I didn't even notice fucking Dave Bautista do anything. His face was white and he just like screamed once. Yeah, and that's kind of it.
He wasn't bad, but it's just like. It was more for him than Zendaya. I'm like, that's fucking Dave Bautista. That's what I was thinking. Yeah. I'm like, that's Dave Bautista.
Yeah. But
it's like, I couldn't take him that serious. I don't know. No offense. I kind of like Dave Bautista, but like, I don't know. Just when I'm looking, I'm like,
he cool.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, he cool.
I'm like, that's fucking Drax.
Yeah, that's Drax the Destroyer.
Yeah. I hate being that guy who's like, what you see versus what I see. Fucking,
what you see versus what I see. I literally see Mary Jane, Drax the Destroyer, literally fucking Willy Wonka next to Poe Dameron, yeah.
That was Mr. Willy Wonka.
Hell yeah.
You excited for Wonka?
I think we're going to have to start doing every Timmy movie that comes out.
We will.
I think we will. Deadass. But yeah, so Evan, rate Dune out of 10.
Out of 10. Okay. So you're not doing...
I'm doing mine. You do yours.
Okay. Well, I switch it up. Sometimes I do out of 5, sometimes I do out of 10. But for now, right this moment, I'll do out of 10. For me, it's like a 10 out of 10. I give it like
every single number.
Yeah,
is full.
Yeah, I give it a 10 out of 10. It's not a perfect movie, but just on a personal level, personal enjoyment, I got what I wanted from it. Like It was like perfect for me. So for that, I give it a 10 out of 10.
This might not sound genuine, but I'm genuinely curious. Would you say that this actually sounds like a mean question? It's not. I'm not saying this ironically. Did this like exceed your expectations?
Oh no, it did.
Because I know you had high expectations. So did it even further exceed your expectations?
Yes, it did.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Because I was I was very excited for it, and then a couple months before, I kind of lowered my expectations a little bit because I was like, no, like I'm be like, there's no way he's gonna do another movie as good as Blade Runner 2049. That's what I was like. I would start telling myself, like, don't set yourself up to think, like, this is going to be as good as Blade Runner 2049. Nobody makes a movie that good two times in a row. You know what I mean?
I guess he's the GOAT.
And then I saw it, and I was like, oh, shit, no, never mind, he did.
Yeah, I gave it my classic 2 out of 3 stars. You know? I give it my classic 2 out of 3.
2 out of 3 is good. 2 out of the 3 system, I've come around to it. It's like 1, it's like, 1, I don't like it. 2, like it. 3, love it. That makes sense. Yeah. That's pretty good.
That's what I like. But I respect the fuck out of a 10 out of 10 because for me, trying to say like some type of like, oh, this movie's perfect. Like, nah, fuck you. But I'm interested in people's opinions. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like the when someone can tell me this is a perfect movie for me, that interests the fuck out of me. So it's good to hear. I'm glad you loved it, and I'm excited to talk more Dune and in
2023 when part 2 comes out.
David Dastmalchian. I'm excited to talk more about him in the future.
Yeah.
That's Polka Dot Man.
Oh yeah, he was in Dune also.
He was for a quick second, right?
He died.
WB showing love.
Yeah, they have been. I realized that.
I fucking love WB.
They've been casting like a lot of the same
Warner
people.
Brothers. Love Warner Brothers.
Yeah, Warner Brothers. They're kind of the GOAT right now as far as the major studios go.
And guess what? They were also the GOAT in 2001.
What was in?
Or whenever Trick or Treat came out.
2006, I think.
2006.
Right? Was it 2006?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure 2006.
Well, I'll have to Google it because I'm gonna have to put it in parentheses after the title.
That was a good segue, though. Wait, let's do it. Warner Brothers Trick or Treat.
All right, yeah, man. So Warner Brothers classic film Trick or Treat. We did 20 minutes on Dune. That's not too bad.
I would say, yeah, we actually talked about it for a minute.
I almost feel like we probably could have done a podcast on it, but
we just no time. We're busy.
Yeah, we're busy, man. We both.
By the time we get to November, we'll be like, all right, we will obviously we can talk about it whenever, but it's like. Well, that's sailed. As far as like the new movies, the ship has sailed.
Yeah. Once you get past that first weekend or so, it's like no one gives a shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Trick or Treat, it was directed by another great filmmaker. Speaking of Villeneuve, it almost feels wrong not saying his first name, but I don't ever remember how to say his first name.
What's funny, I was like, I knew how to say his first name, I didn't know how to say his last name. And you knew how to say his last name, I didn't know.
What is it?
Denis Villeneuve. Yeah, Villeneuve. Denny. Yeah, Denny.
Denis Villeneuve. Okay.
I think it's French because he's from Quebec.
That sounds right. I think
it's French. Yeah,
that sounds right. Canada's a whole can of worms, isn't
It
it?
is. Yeah.
I don't want to talk about Canada, but yeah, another auteur filmmaker. I don't know his name.
Oh, Trick or Treat director.
The Trick or Treat
guy? Michael Daughtry, I think.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
Michael Daughtry. He also directed classic films such as Godzilla, King of Monsters.
Do you want to talk about our Godzilla King of Monsters experience really quick?
Yeah, it's dog shit.
It was a terrible movie, but my
you
favorite.
Fell asleep. I forgot.
I didn't fall asleep, but I was almost there. My favorite memory from seeing Godzilla King of Monsters, me and Dylan saw it together. I was sitting there, Dylan was like, "Evan, you look sleepy," or something like that. I was getting tired, I remember. And that's not a good sign for a giant monster movie. You're sleepy. Yeah, it's definitely not a good sign.
Yeah, especially like that's the number one movie where it's like you should be awake, your adrenaline should be pumping and shit. Like
no, it's fucking boring. No. And it was crazy because a lot of people were shitting on the first American Godzilla, the one before King of Monsters,
which was good.
Yeah, it was a good movie, but a lot of people were shitting on it like, oh, it was like not enough monster fights or whatever. And then this one, they're like, yeah, this one had it all. I'm like, where was it at? Where's that shit at?
That shit was garbage.
Yeah, it was barely, but most of it focused on the shitty human stuff.
Yeah, because you need like,
and then the monster fights weren't even that good. It was the monster fight they definitely do blue ball you in the first one. But when you finally get to it though, the ending fight Godzilla was fucking awesome.
That movie's dope.
Yeah, it is.
It's like Batman Begins. It makes you work for it.
It is a good movie. I've seen a lot of people have come around to it recently. Because at first when it came out, it kind of got shit on.
I feel like it was pretty well.
And now recently, I've seen a lot of people being like, "Oh no, that was actually a good movie."
Yeah, it was.
It's strange.
Yeah,
just seeing that happen like in real time.
They really fucked up on King of Monsters and on.
I didn't see King Kong versus
Godzilla.
So.
King Kong was better. But, yeah. Anyways, they were good because they were WB.
Yeah.
And also the first Godzilla, I want to talk about that maybe sometime because that movie's dope.
We should talk about it, yeah.
I watched the American version, though. But,
oh, you actually mean like the old Godzilla?
The old-ass Godzilla.
Okay. Yeah, because they took like what was there in the Japanese movie and then just added American actors.
It's basically
it's the same movie just with they added American actors.
Every time like someone says something, it cuts to a white guy and a Japanese guy and he's like, "So what are they talking about? What are they on about?"
I've seen the original, but I actually saw the Japanese one, not the American one. But the edition I own actually does own both. But I never watched the American one. Maybe I'll get around to it. Maybe I'll watch the American one.
It's honestly, if you ever feel the need to watch that Godzilla movie again or a Godzilla movie, I'd say it's worth it just for like it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Like it's good. It's still good because it's the same movie, but just the fact that like it literally
it's kind of like a dub almost. It's like a high effort dub.
Yeah, right. Because it's just like they cut to like this A-list at the time. Because I watched it with my grandma,
and she knew who the actors were.
And she was like, "Oh yeah, I want to watch the Godzilla with that guy. I like that guy." And I was like, okay, Grandma. So I guess he was like an A-list actor at the time. So they were like, let's just get the biggest guy ever and then like have a Japanese guy explain the movie to him.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was funny, but it was also like, it's a great movie.
I'll have to check it out.
It's dead ass a great movie. But anyways, enough about fucking Godzilla. Jesus Christ. We talked about Godzilla like 1/4 as much as Dune. We haven't talked about Trick or Treat.
No, not
yet.
1/4. Well, I guess it
We
was
did.
1/4. Yeah. Oh shit.
We haven't talked about Dune yet.
Well, dude. Well, Trick or Treat.
I mean,
it's
Trick
a
or
really
Treat.
short movie, anyways. This is the shortest we've watched so far.
It is short.
It's only 80 something minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really.
Is
short.
that even? I don't know if that's even theatrical length anymore. I think
I
it
don't
has to
know.
be 90 minutes
Good question.
now.
Yeah.
I might be
I haven't
wrong.
seen an 80-minute movie in theaters in a long time.
Hell yeah.
Even Boss Baby 2 was like an hour 40.
I did want to mention one thing too, real
And yes,
quick.
we saw Boss Baby 2 in theaters.
No, I was gonna. That fucking dovetails into what I was gonna say because I was gonna say me and Evan see so many movies. We see a lot of movies.
Yeah.
And I think Godzilla King of Monsters was the closest I've ever seen Evan to falling asleep. I don't think you've ever fallen asleep, right? I don't think I have either.
In the theater ticket, like when we were in the theater together,
Yeah.
I don't think I have. No.
I don't think I've ever fallen asleep in a movie theater ever.
I have.
Wait, okay.
I have.
I have one time.
I was with my dad though.
What movie?
It was fucking Pirates of the Caribbean 4. That movie was shit. That movie sucked.
No, I watched the first one. It was awesome, and I was like, I guess I won't watch anymore.
No, it's
People
fine.
say they're
The first
terrible.
one's the only good one.
Yeah.
Well, I kind of like 2 and 3, but anyways, you were saying?
No, I was gonna mention also. We've only walked Evan. I've only seen him walk out of one movie, which was Sonic. But yeah, it's just funny
movie
that
went dog shit.
we've probably seen at least 100 movies together.
Yeah, for sure. For
Right?
sure.
It's a lot.
Probably more, honestly.
Maybe more.
Yeah, probably more.
Maybe more. But yeah, I've never seen Evan that close to falling asleep in King of Monsters. And then what the fuck else was I gonna say? I don't know. I had a further point, but whatever. Trick or Treat.
I didn't fall asleep.
I
in
did.
this
Guess
movie.
what? This one of his movies, I didn't fall asleep.
Yeah, it was a good movie. I liked it. This is my first time seeing it. I know you've seen it before.
Can I spin a bit of a yarn
Of course.
about my first time seeing Trick or Treat?
Mm-hmm.
So I first saw Trick or Treat. I was maybe like 13 or 14, and I was like super. I'm a scaredy cat. I didn't like. I can watch almost anything now, but until I was like in my late teens, at least, I could not stand horror movies.
I was the same way, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't
Not
know
late
that.
teens, but like early, like when I was like 13, 14, that's when I got into horror movies. Before, I used to be like scared shitless of them.
I was about 13, I think, when I came home, and my wonderful cousin Lauren and her friend Rosie, they're very dear to my heart. They were, for whatever reason...
Yeah, I was going to say, this is I was like, this is the strange part.
They were, so, I live with my aunt and uncle, and my cousin, and my cousin was in my room as opposed to her room with her friend watching the movie. And I was like, I came home from school. I was like, what the fuck are you guys doing in my room watching a horror movie?
Did you have a better TV?
I either had a better TV or at the time maybe she didn't have a TV for some reason. Or I might have had, I think I had a cable box and and she didn't.
Was it on the cable? Was it on cable?
I think so.
Okay, I'm gonna say. Can I say a little fun fact about
sure.
Dylan? I was like, even though we do have cool Dylan facts, this is unrelated to that. I'm gonna say Dylan was kind of ahead of the curve on the, the bigger flat screen TV. you had it pretty.
Funny.
You had pretty early before me and Andy did. I was using that the shitty old box TV.
It's funny.
for a
I
minute.
say this about Andy and Evan. So for those of you that don't know, also Andy is kind of like our we're a trifecta.
Yes, you could say
Evan,
that.
Andy hasn't been on yet. I want him to be on soon, but he hasn't been on yet.
We always say, the Saw episode whenever we do.
I don't
want
want to do Saw.
Well, me either, really, but like for whatever reason, Andy said that like twice. He was like, "Yeah," and then I think we all said that at some point. We're like, "Yeah, we'll do a Saw episode," and Andy will come
whatever. If Andy will be on, I'll do whatever he wants. But yeah, so he's kind of our third friend, and I always say between us, I'm always the first to get something or do something, and then they do it better. Like I'm the first to get a smartphone, they get better smartphones. I'm the first to get a car, you guys get better cars. I'm the first to get a job, you guys get better jobs. That always happens.
That sounds so sad.
It is sad. I live a sad godforsaken life. So maybe I'll be the first to be a millionaire.
But at the same time, it's kind of cool though, because it was like, you sound very ahead of your time. I like that though. That sounds dope.
I'm ahead of my time, but I'm also very stagnant and lazy. Once I get there, I don't improve. But I hope I'm a millionaire and then you guys become billionaires, you know? Toast to Evan and Andy.
That's not a bad. That'd be pretty dope.
We'd
all be rich then. You know, at that point we're all rich enough where it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you know, it's all good.
We could all be drinking cell fluid and all that stuff, all that wacky crazy stuff.
Holy shit! Okay, we're 30 minutes in. We
haven't talked about trick or treat.
Yeah.
But that was a cool story, though.
It was.
But yeah, so I'm sorry. My point was.
Well, we kind of did because the story is relevant to that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That was the first time, and it was on my giant big screen TV. But yeah, it was really the first horror movie that I watched all the way through. I actually missed the first scene, but other than that, I had watched the whole movie with them, and I loved it. And it touched my soul, Evan. It touched my heart. It was right before Halloween, I think.
Yeah.
And it was just, it's a great first horror movie to watch.
I agree because it's not really scary.
It was. I think I forced myself more or less to watch Halloween the previous year.
Halloween's not too bad to watch.
It's really not. Yeah. No, it's pretty tame. But I watched that and I was like, I'm so badass.
Yeah.
I was like,
that's how I felt when I saw Halloween first as a kid too, because I saw that when I was young.
I was too old to be feeling badass about it, but.
Yeah, I was probably 8 or 9 when I saw Halloween.
I was easily 13 or something. Yeah, I was too old.
But still, it's a good movie. You should feel badass anytime.
It's a great movie. It actually is. But yeah, so Trick or Treat, but that was the first one where I watched it and I was like, I like this.
Yeah.
I'm not just watching it to watch it. I actually really enjoy this, so.
I think you're right where about Trick or Treat. There's something you said in, I forgot which episode, one of this month's episodes. You're saying Trick or Treat. It really feels like it's a horror movie, obviously, but it really feels like a holiday movie.
Yeah.
It's it really does almost feel like a Christmas movie, except it's Halloween.
For Halloween.
Yeah.
It's about the Halloween spirit.
Yeah.
As much as A Wonderful Life is about the Christmas spirit.
Yes,
or whatever
exactly.
The fuck. Yeah. I think that's my favorite part of the movie because it's very different.
I feel like there's not many. I mean, we have horror movies for Halloween, but there's not many movies like that. There's a lot of Christmas movies.
You can point to Nightmare Before Christmas. I think that's the closest thing, but that's also a Christmas movie.
I could say, but I feel Nightmare Before Christmas. I feel it's more of a Christmas movie than it is a Halloween movie. Also, because the part where it takes place during Halloween is only the very beginning of the movie.
Right.
The rest of it's them getting ready for Christmas. Finding out about Christmas, you know.
Yeah, it's the second and third act is a Christmas movie, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, you have the Halloween elements seeping into Christmas and shit like that,
yeah.
but it's about Christmas, really.
Yeah.
And the fascination and the magic of the Christmas spirit and shit like that. I feel like this Trick or Treat does that for Halloween.
Yeah.
And
there are not many movies like that.
I can't think of another movie that does it, really. So I think if there's any movie that I'm watching every Halloween, it's this one, really. Even though this is my second time seeing it.
Yeah.
But if there was a tradition I had to make, it would be this one.
Yeah, it's like watching A Christmas Story on Christmas.
Yes. And Sam is Sam is the main little character with the bag on his head.
Yeah.
He's a good little fake Santa Claus. And I remember thinking as a kid, before I knew this movie existed or before it came out, whatever, who, is it the Grim Reaper? Who is Santa for Halloween? The Easter Bunny. Who's Easter Bunny for Halloween? Sam, I guess.
I guess it's circa 2006.
Hell
Sam.
yeah. Hell yeah.
I guess we can talk about the Sam character if you'd like.
Yeah.
What do you make of this little young character gentleman?
He's the spirit of Halloween TM, not the store.
Is that what he is? He's just the spirit of Halloween?
Yeah.
It's I'm like...
What else would he be?
No, that makes sense. But when I'm watching it, I'm like... I don't know. I'm like, is he good? Is he evil? I don't really know.
He's not. He's neither. He's the spirit of Halloween.
That's what I mean. It's because he attacks some people, but other people, it's he just sees them. He clearly is not gonna I don't know. I don't really know. Is she special needs? The young girl with the glasses.
I think she's just on the spectrum.
Yeah,
she's pretty smart.
That's what it seemed. I feel like she seemed like she was autistic. Probably.
Yeah, she's just on the spectrum, but she was pretty smart. Evan is talking about the kind of the autistic the girl in the witch costume.
Well, Sam sees her, and nothing happens. He's just kind of watching her. So I'm like, I don't know. It's
no, he doesn't kill. He kills you if you disrespect Halloween.
That's what I'm
That's
thinking.
The only way you're dead.
Okay. So, what did the old dude do at the end that made him attack him?
It was on Halloween that he killed those kids.
Was that the reason why he did it? Because he killed the kids?
Yes.
So he's like a vengeful spirit then, Sam?
Yes.
Okay.
I guess somewhat. I think he kind of I think he's kind of I hate to say this, but I think he's kind of like Loki or something. he just does what he wants. Like, you're not going to do something that will definitely get his attention, but he's just kind of like, oh, these kids are doing this thing with the bus. I never heard about that. I'll go kill the bus driver.
Is that what it was?
That's kind of the vibe I get. I don't think he's ever kind of like, I don't think it's like a concrete, like, he just kind of does what he wants, you know?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to figure out. I'm like, I don't really like. When I was watching, I was like, I don't know what
he's chaotic neutral.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Yeah. But I'm like, that's what I was wondering. Like, what made him attack the old man? Was it just for killing the kids?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think that was it.
I also guess maybe.
And he watches.
I guess also because he was kind of bitter towards Halloween just in general. Yeah. Like those kids try to come trick or treating, and like he has his dog wearing like the mask or whatever. At like a monster.
That's in the Halloween spirit, though.
It is, but I don't know. I was thinking, it's like, is it because he didn't want to?
Maybe it's because he's not giving out candy.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know, but he has candy later. I don't know if he went and got candy.
Yeah,
I guess that's not really relevant. I like how
it's not super concrete on the whole rule thing of Halloween.
That's one of my favorite parts of the movie, though. Like, just
for me, I feel like it could have been a little bit more defined.
I like the way that they play it. Because you just kind of get the sense that, I mean, it's not like Santa Claus, you know, it's like, it's Halloween, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, if you're good or bad, you get punished or you don't. It's not like that. It's just kind of like.
Yeah, it is. It's not black and white.
It's like, do you have the spirit or not?
I guess that makes sense, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put it.
It's not like, it's more like a Halloween spirit type of judgment versus like good or bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I really fuck with that. And I guess. Maybe Sam doesn't.
Because obviously he's not just attacking anybody who's killing people.
He's not. He's attacking people based on like their relation to Halloween. Yeah, kind of.
Because like
he only kills.
He doesn't attack Dylan Baker's character, which we'll get to.
But I think that he kind of did, or he would have.
You think so?
I think he would have killed him, but he let.
I guess he was kind of anti-Halloween based on what.
He wasn't.
I don't know.
He was very pro Halloween.
I mean, like, what he does to the kid is kind of.
But I don't think Sam. I think Sam, if I had to define him.
But then what he's doing with his own kid is more, oh, yeah, it's Halloween.
I love that. Yeah. I love that. So we should get into that in a second. Yeah, okay. But I think if you could define Sam's rules, you could define it two ways. Are you like, do you have the Halloween spirit? And are you disrespecting Halloween?
Okay.
So. I think the guy actually has a ton of Halloween spirit. The fucking Dylan Baker character, the principal. I think he has a ton of Halloween spirit, but he disrespects Halloween. But I think since Sam was like, oh, well, he's going to get himself fucked over later anyway, because Sam is like a fucking omniscient entity. Like,
yes.
He's not a person or a monster. He's like a spirit. He's not like, he's like Ghost Rider. Like, he's like a spirit of vengeance, you know? Yeah. He's like, literally, I think he like, you could almost make the argument that he lets himself get shot just for dramatic effect.
Oh, at the end of the movie?
Yeah. I don't think really the other guy had any chance of winning. Like, he just kind of played with them.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
Because he's a Halloween spirit.
Yeah.
So that's why I think maybe he was like, well, I'll let this guy... These werewolves are going to eat him, so I'll just let that happen. Because that'll be spooky.
Oh, okay, for Dylan Baker.
Yeah,
okay,
like maybe Sam knows that's going to happen or he can foresee it somehow. Yeah. Like, because he's watching at the end when he's getting eaten by the werewolves.
Was he watching? Was he there?
Yes.
In the woods?
He was.
Oh.
Yeah, Sam was watching.
Okay.
Sam's always watching.
He is. He is like Santa Claus, you're right.
I fuck with Sam. But yeah, so I think he's just kind of like... He's more of an observer than anything. Even though he does kill two people. Or no, he doesn't. He kills one person, right? Yeah, he only kills one person.
Yeah, the lady.
Yeah. Which was dope.
That was good. But I was like, God damn.
I love that fact.
I was like, she did not deserve it that much. Like, this old dude... I guess we'll get into it, but the old dude murdered a bunch of children. He deserved it much more than that lady who just put out the... She's like, yeah, my night's really shitty. I don't feel like dealing with this Halloween shit. And she dies for it.
In my humble opinion, they maybe could have made her a little more egregious towards Halloween.
Yeah.
Because all she did was like...
She was just tired.
She was just like, I want these shits down by November, and I want to turn this light off.
Yeah.
Like, that's all it was. I mean,
It was kind of funny, though. This movie isn't played super straight.
No.
A lot of it's played kind of, like, humorous, you may say. So, it worked. I wasn't bothered by it, where I'm like, yo, that's stupid.
And I like the image of him pulling the curtain over and seeing her with the lollipop stuff.
That was that was good.
That was awesome. And just the jagged lollipop is pretty fucking sweet.
Yeah,
and just Sam's design, he looks great. I love this movie, man. But we can talk about a bit about the Dylan Baker segment of the film.
Yeah, because it kind of is the first one, I guess.
Yeah.
They're all kind of intertwined, but
it's
his
really
kind of is. Well, the ending is the most just like all of it at once, but besides from the ending, his is kind of
he has the full story.
Yeah. Where it happens very quick, all together at once.
How does this little story start?
There's the kid.
There's a fat
child. Yes, you could say he's a fat fuck. The kid from Bad Santa. You ever seen that?
Oh yeah,
yeah, it's him.
He is
Bad
from
Santa.
Bad Santa.
Bad Santa's a good movie, but
Oh.
him. He's like just. Well, he's not in costume. He's just going out stealing candy. Well, it's like, when people leave the buckets on Halloween, they're not home. They're like, just take one candy. Well, he like grabs a shit ton. He's like smashing the jack-o'-lanterns. So he's just pretty, anti-Halloween. Not anti-Halloween, but he's like, he
doesn't have the Halloween spirit.
Yeah, he's fucking shit up for everyone.
And as you know, that's how you stay alive.
And then after he jacks a bunch of candy from the bowl, it turns out to be Dylan Baker's character's house.
Who's the principal of the school.
Yeah.
So he knows who the kid is.
Yeah, he's like, what are you doing? It's very creepy. He's like, I forgot what he says exactly. He's like, what are you doing? He's like, come sit over here.
Yeah, he's like, well, I got more candy. It's all right. Just take a seat. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very, very creepy. We read this in the IMDb trivia, but I actually thought about this. I mentioned it to you when we were reading the trivia. I thought about this when I was watching the movie. I was like, Dylan Baker is perfect for this role because if you've seen the movie Happiness,
right,
he plays a child molester in that movie, and he's very creepy.
Is he like the main antagonist of the movie?
No. Okay, so Happiness is not. It's a comedy. See, it sounds fucked up. I'm like, it's a very, very dark comedy.
If only you could see Dylan's fucking disgruntled face right now.
But he's very creepy in that movie.
He's not even like one of the main characters?
No, he is one of the main characters.
Oh.
It's almost similar to Trick or Treat, where it's like different stories all happening together. Yeah. I haven't seen it in years. I remember I watched it right after Philip Seymour Hoffman died.
Oh, he's in it?
Because he's in it, yes.
Okay.
I haven't seen it in a long time, so the details on her are catchy. But
it's good, though?
Yeah, it's a great movie. It's great. Like I said, it's very dark, though. But yeah, he's a pedophile. He's not a child molester until the end of the movie, but he's like, from the beginning that he's like into children. So just for that reason, he's very creepy. And then I'm like, Dylan Baker, you're a little too good at being someone who creeps on children.
He's a good actor.
He is a good actor, though. Dr. Connors. We'll get back to some more Dylan Baker movies.
I don't know if it's just like the way they had him made up in the Sam Raimi movies, but he looks so different in this. I don't know.
You think so?
I guess.
Did you not recognize him at first?
When I was a kid, I definitely didn't know it was him at all.
Yeah.
But this time you had mentioned it was him.
Yeah, because I was like, I didn't even refer to him as Dylan Baker. I said Dr. Connors.
Yeah, Kurt Connors in there fucking killing kids, yeah.
So he just he's like, no, come eat some of this candy. And then it turns out to be fucking poisoned, I guess.
That's one of the creepiest. I think there was a razor blade in it.
There was a razor blade also, but there is also definitely some poison. Because we see later when he's dragging the kid in his house, he has like the chemicals on his table.
Oh.
It's very quick. But yeah, the kid eats the candy. I guess it has razor blades, fucking, and some poison, whatever. And he just starts puking. Like, it's weird. I didn't know at first if he was puking chocolate or blood
mixture.
I guess it was a mixture because you see at first it looked dark. Like, it looks like it's chocolate.
I think at first it's straight chocolate, and then it becomes like a mixture of blood and chocolate.
That's fucked up.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
it's pretty fucking awesome.
It's gnarly.
For a horror movie about trick or treating and Halloween, to see some kid puke blood and chocolate, like that's fun. You're a genius,
Michael
Rosenbaum.
Michael Rose.
Yeah, great fucking job, dude. But yeah, that's one of the creepiest scenes in the movie too, where he's puking like chocolate and, like you said, like blood at some point. I think that's what the implication is, where it gets like discolored. And he's like, he's like laughing at him. And he's like, "You want a root beer?"
Yeah.
I was like, "God damn!"
He was evil as fuck. Yeah.
And then I really like, really all this boils down to is he kills the kid.
Yeah.
And then he has his own kid, and then you think he's gonna kill his kid, but guess what? He's.
I was gonna say, there's a lot of good misleading shit in this movie.
It
has some misleading shit, but it's all done really well.
Every
it's not
story
all
has
like
a misdirect, yeah.
Yeah, it's not all in the these were your expectations. Well, here's some.
Well, guess what? Fuck you. Luke Skywalker's not a Jedi. You idiot.
Yeah. It's not like that. No, it's actually done really well. I think.
I really like the because they all have one really.
Yeah, I guess we can talk. Yeah, so you think he's gonna kill Dylan Baker's gonna kill a child or whatever, but then no, they're actually just both evil. Him and the kid.
Yeah, he's like basically what I get from him is like he's teaching his son how to be a serial killer.
Yeah,
like he wants his son to take the family business.
Yeah,
which is awesome.
It was
but I think on second watch they lean into it a little too hard in the misdirect.
You think so?
A little too hard.
I guess maybe I can see what you mean.
Because like right before he goes downstairs to see his son, he's like, "Oh, you want to go to the fair? You want to do this? You want to carve the pumpkin? You want to do this?"
I thought what it was going for at first is like, for some reason he's just at the point in life where he's just fed up with everything. So he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna kill this random kid. I'm gonna kill my own child." But then no, I think the implication that you get by the end is like he's just a serial killer.
Yeah, he's teaching his son how to be a serial killer, which like it plays best. It plays best on first watch. It really does. Because that was kind of the first. I got there right after Sam kills the first girl, so that was kind of the first thing I saw. Was
so you didn't really miss too much. That's just the very beginning. It's like the setup.
Yeah, I actually didn't know how much I missed until I watched it just now. But it was a very short movie, so I thought I had missed more than I did. But that story is great. I love that, and also the part we were talking about earlier where the fat kid's like in the grave, not dead. Yeah, he's stomping on his brain while he's talking to his neighbor.
He's hitting him with the shovel. Yeah, it's pretty funny. The fact that I just like, it's the kid from Bad Santa is just making me laugh.
Yeah, that was fantastic, and he had the grave fucking dug already.
Oh yeah, he did, didn't he? Yeah.
But yeah, that's great, and I that was how I was like, I'm gonna like this movie when I saw that. It's like he's just the twist of like I'm teaching my son how to be a serial killer. And the son is like so normal, I guess. Yeah, it's great. It's great.
It was very ridiculous, but it was good.
It's great. I like that. That's probably the best part of the movie.
That was probably my favorite short. I think so. I keep calling them shorts, but like we said, they're very connected. They're intertwined. But you get what I mean. It's my favorite story.
Yeah, as far as anthologies go, it's probably about as connected as you can get.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
I guess so. That we can talk about the werewolf one then too. This is probably my favorite misdirect in it. They set her up to be like Anna Paquin's character here. I think that's how you say her last name. They set her up to be like the virgin, perfect final girl. That's what I thought they were going for. It's like, but then no, she's actually, she's evil too. Yeah.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
So her first time, I guess, killing someone. I don't fucking know. Yeah. Are they werewolves? It's weird.
They are.
I was like, is they a werewolves? Because the way they transform into wolves is very interesting. They like peel their skin off.
They actually rip their own skin off, which is cool.
Yeah, which was unique. I like
the effect isn't.
It doesn't look great.
It isn't perfect, but I think the budget.
It was just a unique approach, though.
The budget on this movie is low as fuck.
Yeah, it's definitely not no fucking American Werewolf in London where you get this amazing werewolf transformation scene. No, it's not.
But it's like you said, it's interesting, and some of it's pretty good. It looks pretty cool sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah, but. I thought that was really cool because they set her up. I thought it was like the generic good girl who's the final girl. Like they're all gonna get killed, but she's innocent, so she gets to live. But then no, they're just all finding men to kill.
Well, I actually,
which was awesome. I like that.
Yeah, because they're all the way they talk about it is they're
all finding someone to fuck.
They're all trying to fuck. Yeah, which they are kind of.
I don't.
Because
I don't know.
There's a couple lines that concretely they're like, we need to have sex.
Yeah.
Like, so it's a very hard misdirect. They do that pretty much every single time. I guess there's only 3, right? Mm-hmm. There's only really 3 misdirects, I guess. But I think it works better here because
I feel like it's not as the misdirect. This is gonna sound stupid. It's not as visual, I guess. You know what I mean? It's more
like within the story.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah. Whereas the one with Dylan Baker, it's like they focus on him like right behind his son with the knife in his hand. It's nothing like that. You get what I mean?
I do like that after, to bring it back to that part for a second, with the principal, the way he's holding his son's head and the way he's holding the knife up, it's like, well, he's definitely going to stab his son in the brain.
Yeah.
There's no other way that this is going to play out. But then the way that he talks to his son after he stabbed the knife into the other guy's head, or like into the kid's head, and he's like, "Oh well, we're gonna be a beautiful serial killer family," whatever the fuck he says. You can tell that it was like, oh, he was never gonna stab his son in the head. It's not. I like how they expressly go like, oh well, this wasn't him like choosing not to stab him. It was like, you just got fooled.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
They make it very clear that he loves his son
Yeah.
and he wants him to be a cool serial killer like him. I like that, but I also liked. This is the way I interpreted it when I first saw it. Is that the twist is, I mean, not to say that it is, but my interpretation, like my opinion was, they're vampires.
The girls?
But it turns out they're werewolves. That's kind of what I got from it.
It was very strange. It's like I didn't know exactly. It was like a mixture of witches, werewolves, and vampires.
The way
it was a bit of mix of all three.
I actually misremembered this because the way that I remembered it was that Dylan Baker, like the principal.
Yeah.
I thought for whatever reason, I thought that he was a real vampire.
No, they make it seem like there's some dude stalking chicks who's a vampire.
But it's the principal.
Yeah, it's actually Dylan Baker. Because he mentioned earlier in his story, that he had a date, which I guess is actually just creeping on women. That was a date, yeah.
I don't know why he feels the need to censor himself in front of his son.
Yeah, considering that they're just,
they
chopping up a
dead with each other. Yeah, but whatever. I guess he's not ready for sex yet.
Yeah.
But I misremembered it because I didn't do too much. I never rewatched this movie, and I didn't do too much like rewatch, rewatching any clips or watching any reviews. I just kind of saw it the one time. It was a very magical experience.
Yeah.
And then I kind of just moved on. The way I remembered it was there's these girls that I thought were gonna be vampires, which they do that kind of whole like virgin thing. But I kind of knew they were evil for some reason. I was just kind of like, well, they're evil, I guess. Which you probably knew too, but I'm just saying.
No, I thought something was going to happen to them. That's what I was
thought they were going to die?
Yeah, that's what, because I didn't, like, going into this movie, I didn't know, like, it's supposed to be like, all these stories are misdirects, I guess. I didn't think they were evil. I just thought there was a bunch of horny chicks.
For some reason, I
went to it, I guess, expecting more just like, yeah, this is a straight up horror.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
okay.
Which it wasn't.
When I first saw it, I could just tell by the way they were acting. Like, girls don't really act like that. I mean, it's just facts. Like,
I mean, no, in like other horror movies, it's very similar.
But girls,
where you have like the innocent one and the other ones
girls
who are
aren't
not
like
innocent, and then they die while the innocent one.
But
lives.
they're not like, you have to have a guy. Go get a guy. You have to have one.
I can see what you mean. It's very.
So for me, that kind of like tipped their hand.
Yeah, I can see what you mean. Yeah,
I was like, they're vampires.
It's very hammed up.
Yes.
Like what you would. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I can see what you mean.
So I feel like they kind of, and also they're hypersexual in a way that is like performative.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
And not even just in the sense of it's in a Hollywood movie, but in the sense that it's like performative for the other men in the movie.
Yeah. When they walk up to the two dudes who are working on, I forgot what they're like doing cable or some shit.
Yeah, they're camera guys.
Yeah, okay, that was it. Yeah. And they walked up and they're like, yeah, we need some dates. And they're no, they were like, you're like, well, she said something. Oh, you got some big packages or something.
Yeah, and he's just like,
he was like, thanks. I
thought
it was funny.
Yeah, he's something like, oh, okay. Yeah, I like that too.
That was funny as fuck.
Because it's like, they're not even really good at it.
Yeah.
They're not even really good at it, but just because they're hot and these guys are like idiots, they're just like, most guys are idiots, so they're just going to fall for it anyway. Like, it doesn't matter. I feel like that's almost kind of the joke too, is just like, they're not even good at it. They're just not.
Definitely.
But yeah, that's pretty funny to me. But yeah, even as a kid, not that young, but even upon first watching, I was kind of like, they're being predatory. There's something not right about this.
Yeah, I can see that.
And then they have the guy who you don't know is Dylan Baker, but he's Dylan Baker. He's the principal from the other story. I thought as a kid that was an actual vampire.
So did I. Yeah, I thought it was vampire.
I thought that the twist there, for so many years on reflecting on this movie, I thought that was the twist, was that it's like this guy, this predatory vampire is trying to eat a girl, and then oh no, he happened upon werewolves and they eat him. But it wasn't a vampire, it was a serial killer with vampire fangs.
But I think You're not entirely wrong, though. I think they were kind of playing on that trope.
That's kind of what they're getting at.
Yeah, yeah.
But also, I thought it was a literal vampire.
That would have been cooler, I think.
Maybe, yeah.
I don't know. I fuck with werewolves, though. That's kind of my thing.
No, but I think...
I like werewolves more than vampires, personally.
Just,
so I'm like, yeah, that's something badass.
I think if they just didn't follow up with Dylan Baker's character, and they kind of left it where it was, and then they had that stalker guy just be a different character that's a vampire, that would have been cool.
Yeah.
I think that maybe would have been better. Because it kind of would have almost been a, like... I don't know. I like that a little
The only reason... They didn't really need to do this necessarily, but they do for whatever reason. I think the only reason they made him is just like, oh, well, now he's getting his...
Yeah.
For being...
He gets his karma.
Yeah.
And
I don't think that's something they had to do, really.
But I also think that...
You can let it end on a little, like, scary note, like, oh, shit, the dude's out there. I think that's fine.
I think they wanted them all to touch, though.
Yeah.
They wanted, like, every story to kind of at least touch on
that
each
makes
other
it feel a bit forced, though.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. But it doesn't feel like something that principal would do.
It doesn't, no.
No.
But I guess I don't fucking know.
Unless he was a literal vampire.
Yeah.
Which they could have done, I guess.
The biting thing was kind of strange.
Yeah, because it's like, are you... Like, do you just want to role play? Like,
yeah,
but you actually want to kill people?
It would, yeah. That kind of took me out a bit.
It's a little disjointed.
I'm not crazy about that part.
It's a little disjointed.
Yeah. I liked him more as a straight up creepy serial killer than trying to be I don't even know if it's a rapist, but like weird vampire just talking on shit.
I guess if I had to peg something onto it, I would say that he was just trying to like, he was just kind of role playing like for fun that night.
But didn't he kill one chick? She was in the alley and she ran out.
Did.
Yeah. She's like, oh,
because they walk up to the first couple from the beginning of the movie.
Yes,
Which, that's pretty cool. I like that part.
So he's just out killing random women while dressed as a vampire.
I like the idea that, I like the idea that in certain environments, like, you're kind of fucked.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, no one's going to believe you or take you seriously. And then she winds up dying, like, next to drunk people that are passed out. It's cool. It's a cool idea. It's not very fleshed out, but it's cool.
No, I just think they didn't have to make it him.
No.
It just feels a little bit inconsistent.
I think my fucking mismemory of it is actually kind of cooler.
Yeah.
Where,
I agree. No, that's when you said it. I was like, yeah, that sounds better, honestly.
Because I really did. You didn't get the impression that they were vampires?
Them? No, not really. But looking back now where I'm like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. That's what they were going for.
Yeah, I think... Because I guess it kind of does feel like a double misdirect where it's like, oh, they're gonna die. Oh, they're vampires. Oh, they're werewolves. Like, it feels... I think that's kind of what you're supposed to get from it, maybe. But the whole vampire thing, I had misconstrued in my head for so long that I was kind of like... It was funny because I remembered all the twists, like, quote-unquote, basically. But there was so much that I didn't remember in between that it was really fun to rewatch.
Yeah.
And I really like the... do you have anything else to say about the werewolf segment?
Oh, no. The only thing I, like... was like, yeah, I that one threw me a loop.
That one got you.
Yeah, I was like, oh shit.
That one tricked you.
Yeah, it did.
I did want to mention though, we were talking about Sam. I like how were we talking about this before we started recording about Sam being a spirit kind of thing?
No, we talked about it during
that was while we were recording. Okay,
yeah.
Jesus Christ. How long have we been going? An hour?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Basically, what I was saying about Sam being like omniscient or whatever, the only reason I like that being Dylan Baker's character is because it gives the opportunity for, like, Sam to watch it, right?
Yeah.
So since Sam gets to watch it, it gives you it gives you a little more information about Sam. Like, maybe he was like, Sam didn't kill him because he knew he was going to die, so he just let it play out.
That is what you were saying earlier, yeah.
That's the only reason I like that character being the same character from their other story.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I like it. And I don't know if you...
I feel like it maybe could have been done a little bit better somehow. I don't know. Yeah.
I agree. And also, you could have maybe just not made him a fake vampire. That's confusing.
Yes.
It's like, it's a little jumbled.
But then when you say, like, the werewolf thing, then it's like, oh, okay, well, then I see what they're going for there. I don't know. It's just, there's a lot of ideas there that... They're all good ideas, but they're all kind of jumbled together.
I think you could iron it out.
Yeah.
I think you could iron that stuff out, and it would be a lot better, but it's still cool as it is. But one thing I did want to mention, too, before we move on, is I like you get a little bit of everything, which is really cool.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, you get like actual supernatural monsters, the werewolves,
Serial killer,
which are also like turn your expectations on your head. They're also hot bitches.
Yeah, yeah.
You get the kids with an urban legend,
Yeah.
which is sweet. And when that was really when I was a kid, that's what grabbed my attention the most. I was like, oh shit, that's like fucked up. That's really cool.
Yeah, yeah. I like that one too. Actually, I was telling you when I first started watching it. At first, I was like, "Oh, this is the worst one," I think, with the kids. But then towards the end, I actually came around to it. Okay. I liked it by the end.
Yeah, the kids aren't the fucking best actors.
I was like, at first, I found them. We've discussed this on the podcast before about how a lot of times child actors aren't great.
Well, that's just like a universally understood fact of
we've talked about this before.
Filmmaking, yeah.
Yeah, but I came around to it by the end of it.
I think they're okay. Yeah. I think they're okay, and I like the story does a lot of the lifting for them.
Yeah, yeah.
And the short bus kids are great.
Yeah, so I guess are we done with the werewolf?
Well, I just wanted to mention, like, it's very cool. You get, like, a standard, not standard, but, like, an American Psycho type.
Yes.
And then you get Sam, who's more of a Michael Myers, like, whatever, Freddy type. And you
also a bit, like, supernatural.
The supernatural werewolves, and then kind of, like, the urban legend, I was saying. So you get, like, fucking everything you need.
Yeah.
Everything you need. So I just really appreciate that.
I didn't think about it like that, but, yeah, that's definitely something that must have been going for, yeah.
Pretty intentional.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you get, like, standard monster, supernatural serial killer, regular serial killer, and, like, the urban legend.
Yeah.
I already said that, but it works.
It's awesome.
Very cool.
Yeah, I fucked with it.
So you want to talk about the urban legend kind of
Okay,
kid
so yeah,
part?
that's... So I guess we see them first towards the beginning. They're seeing kids just going around asking people, can we have your jack-o'-lanterns?
Right.
Because I guess they heard about this legend, which isn't a legend. Well, it is a legend, but it's true.
Yeah.
About this, I guess, yeah, a bunch of... It's not directly said, but you get the idea. It's a bunch of special needs children were murdered because their parents didn't like them. It's just really fucked up.
There's 8 special needs kids, and they were all on the same bus, and their parents were
They paid a bus driver, yeah.
They pay off the bus driver, and it just, like... I love that story because it just sounds like something you would hear. It really does.
It does. That's deeply fucked.
But it's nothing I really like. It's not. I've never heard a version of that in real life, but it does sound like something that would be an urban legend.
Yeah.
It's fucking. I like that a lot. And it's also deeply fucked, like you said. Like, it's very fucked. Like, whoever thought of that, like, I don't know if you need to be out there in the wild talking to people. Like, you're pretty messed up.
Did they say, like, how many years before this took place?
I think it was the last generation of kids.
Okay.
I think. So it was like a decade ago.
Yeah, okay.
I think. Or no, the car...
It had to be more than a decade.
The cars look like 70s and 50s cars.
I'll just say, let's say like 30 years, something like that.
It was like a generation before.
Yeah, uh-huh.
But yeah, so he...
And it was on Halloween.
One thing I like that's not necessarily... It doesn't make a lot of sense. I guess he's just like checking their restraints because they're all restrained, the special needs kids.
I was like, is that just a thing that's already on the bus? Or like, did he do that earlier?
That might be IRL.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Well, they might restrain kids like that in real life.
I don't know.
I'm not sure. But it's just creepy the way that he's handing out candy. It's like...
The way how he gives them it was like, well, you're doing extra shit right now.
I feel like it's almost supposed to be remorse.
I guess so.
And I also like, one thing I wanted to mention too about that character, the bus driver, is that he's kind of throwing pictures in a fire, and they don't really show you what the pictures are, but it gets you. It's like visual shorthand where they don't have to explain every little thing to you, but it's like the fact that he gives the kids candy before he kills them, the fact that he's kind of tossing these pictures in the fireplace. It makes you feel like he regrets what he did, which, I don't know, I just like that. Even though it's not super direct, and it's not even really clever. It's not like he's like throwing the pictures in the fire it's like you would have thrown those in the fire 30 years ago. Like, what are those pictures even? But it's that's something that someone that's regretful does. I don't know. I just think it's like a clever kind of more abstract kind of way to show that he's regretful.
I think they do try to imply that. He's not redeemed, but like when Sam lets him live at the end.
Yes.
So you find out Dylan Baker's neighbor was the bus driver. I don't know. Sam like shows him mercy at the very end.
That's one thing. So one thing that made me love this movie, right, was the serial killer thing. the twist with like he's teaching his son to be a serial killer. That and the fact that Sam doesn't kill him.
Yeah.
And then he lets the kids kill him. Those are the two things that made me love this movie, because I love the like I was saying, like he's chaotic neutral.
Yeah.
Like he kind of he stabs the candy and he doesn't stab the guy, and he's like, "Oh, that's kind of funny." And then he just eats the candy and walks away. And then I guess maybe he facilitates the zombie kids getting there. Maybe he doesn't. I don't know.
That I didn't mind. Like, because they try to make it play like, oh, okay, now he's been forgiven, but no, you're still gonna die.
And that's
I actually like that, because I'm like, well, like, you still murdered 8 children. Even if you were remorseful about it, you still fucking murdered 8 children.
True.
Yeah. So it's like, and they got their revenge. That was cool.
But one thing that and the last line of the movie is trick or treat.
Yeah.
And that's fucking awesome. And then they cut to like the comic strips of violence. I like that personally. I know you hate it.
No, I didn't hate. No, I was like, I just thought the comic thing was kind of weird.
It doesn't make a lot of sense.
It wasn't. What were the words I used before we started talking about it? It's not fully. Earned? No, not earned. I wouldn't say that. I forgot exactly what I said.
Established or something like that.
Yeah, it was like, it feels like it's not fully fleshed out.
Yeah.
It's just kind of there at the beginning, and then they kind of bring it back at the end.
But I feel like you get away with it. It's like Spider-Man 1, where it's like these are just kind of the credits.
I guess.
Yeah, it's not. I don't think it's really supposed to be anything integral to the movie. It's just kind of like the stylized credits.
But it's like, they have that, but the movie itself didn't really feel comic booky to me. I don't know if they were going for that. That's why I say it's like, yeah, it's kind of weird.
Maybe they were going for like an EC, EC Comics?
What is that?
I forget what it stands for, but it's like the old horror comics.
Okay.
Got,
yeah,
like,
I know what you mean.
Maybe it's kind of like going for that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. It doesn't make a ton of sense, but I don't think it has.
No, it looks cool though. I'm not saying it's like,
but
it's
I
not
just
a bad
like,
thing. It looks cool.
I just like the idea that you get a glimpse of what happens after. I think that's cool.
Yeah.
Because a lot of movies do that thing where they're like, they cut and it's like, oh, what happened after? I can probably 100% guess what happened after, I guess, but it's still left up to interpretation.
Yeah.
But it's like you get a glimpse of it in kind of a dreamlike way. But I wanted to mention, I really love the ending of this, and you were saying how it kind of drags a bit. Sam's fight with the bus driver.
Yeah, it does. Well, should we talk about the actual kids more before we get to that?
Oh, we didn't finish. We didn't finish.
Yeah, we kind of just immediately started talking about the bus driver after we talked about the urban legend. So these kids are getting the jack-o'-lanterns to like, what do they say? It's like for the souls of the 8 dead
basically,
children.
yeah, 8 kids were murdered, so they want to get 8 active jack-o'-lanterns out in the wild to like bring to what's the word? Not sacrifice, but like to pay homage to them or whatever. Exactly.
But the whole thing, the only reason they're actually doing this is just to play a prank on the autistic girl.
Which is super fucking mean.
It was really fucked, yeah. They just want to dress as the zombie children. And one of them acts like he already having his costume, but he's like being devoured. You know what I'm talking about? The kid, what was his name? Chip, I think. Yeah, he's acting like he has intestines ripped out.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were just playing a prank on her, which is deeply fucked. But she doesn't really get her revenge, but she doesn't. I mean, so the zombie children do come back, as we already discussed. And the zombie children come after they give the jack-o'-lanterns, and they just murder. Those are the 3 kids who were playing the prank on the autistic girl.
I thought it was interesting that they come after he kicks the jack-o'-lantern in the water.
Yeah,
It's kind of interesting.
Kind of goes more with the Sam thing. Because Sam is there. He's watching.
That's why I was kind of thinking, like, does Sam facilitate them coming back?
Good.
Probably.
Yeah.
I'm guessing.
Because he's there watching. Because we see when the autistic girl is leaving. Like, what do you remember what her name is? I don't remember any of their names except Chip, because I thought Chip was funny name.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember really a single character's name.
Yeah, me either.
So, I'm sorry. The witch girl.
Yeah, I feel bad saying the autistic. I feel bad, but like we said, it seems like I think that's what they're going for. Like she's on the spectrum.
Well, they call her an idiot savant, which is an actual medical term, or it was.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
That's an actual medical term. But I was actually thinking about that during the movie. I was like, that's actually kind of a respectful thing to say to her, or say about somebody.
Yeah, because I forgot, what did they say at first?
It's like Rain Man. Because she says, "Oh, is he?" I think.
Does he actually just say she
the R word?
Yeah.
I think he does.
Okay, and then they're like, "No, she's an idiot savant,"
which is actually like, it's like I think like dullard and like shit like that. It's like it used to be a medical term. I don't think people still say.
No,
that.
definitely not, because the word idiot is very charged. Yeah.
But idiot savant is like it's what they call Rain Man. It's like.
So it's autism then.
Yes.
Okay. Kind of.
Autism spectrum.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah. But guess what? This isn't a mental health podcast. This is a scary podcast.
Yeah, you're right.
But yeah, the little girl, they scare her. They scare her to the point where she falls down and it bangs her brain. And, they wake her up, tell her it was a joke. And then, like I said, the interesting part is they kick the jack-o'-lantern in the water, which maybe if they didn't do that, the zombie kids wouldn't have come. Yeah. I don't know. But also, like I was saying, which is interesting. I don't know if this was deliberate at all, but Sam was there just watching the wolf murder of the serial killer. So was he there just to watch the zombies?
Or did he facilitate it?
Or did he facilitate it because they disrespected Halloween in a way?
It's interesting. I don't know.
I think that's why I like.
I think I kind of like the observer thing a little bit more.
Me too.
Personally, I think I prefer that. But it could be either.
And then it would culminate in him actually taking action on the bus driver.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of like
I kind of like that. Yeah.
2 of him observing and then 2 of him killing someone.
Yeah.
Or at least somewhat intervening.
Yeah.
I don't know. But that's kind of why I like that they don't explain Sam's rules. Because it's like, there's an element of mystery, of course, to horror and Halloween. Yeah. And Santa has his rules, but they're very, like, plainly laid out.
In that way, it makes sense, yeah.
Yeah,
it's
so
like
it's
more vague.
It's like a horror version of Santa Claus in almost every way. Excuse me.
That's cool.
I fuck with that.
Yeah, me too. Besides that, I don't have too much to say about the kids one. That one dude is... I did not like him at all. The one who's like...
The blonde kid?
Is like trying to make it seem like he has a crush on her. Well, no, you're just an asshole also. Like, you played along with this. And then he tries to get mad at the rest of them when they're like, oh, it's just a joke. And he's like, no, she's scared, guys. Well, like, you're a fucking asshole. You were part of it too. What the fuck are you doing?
He's redeemed a little bit by the fact that he felt bad before there was any other threat. Like, he felt bad about it before there was even any other
that's true.
thing involved.
I guess. But still, I don't know. He went out of his way to do this shit.
But they're all assholes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's like, she doesn't even forgive him.
And plus the story...
Like, she gets up on the elevator.
You're gonna drag a mentally challenged girl down to a fucking ravine where a bunch of mentally handicapped children died.
Yes.
And scare the shit out of her?
It's fucked up.
You're assholes.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Well, they all died, so,
But also the way that she just leaves them is kind of weird, too. I don't know how I feel about that.
You think it's fucked up? I thought it was fine.
I don't think they certainly deserve to die more than the woman who blew the candle out.
Definitely. But still, you think about it like this. Kids are just assholes in general.
That's true.
So it's like, do they really deserve to die for another fucking kids?
I also thought what was interesting is Sam doesn't kill kids.
He doesn't, no.
So maybe the zombies are kind of their own thing.
Yeah.
Because it makes sense. It's like, Sam isn't the only thing because those werewolves have nothing to fucking do with Sam. So maybe he was just observing those zombies. Even though there was the element of the pumpkin thing, which is Sam is pretty ticked off by, I guess.
Yeah.
That's kind of his thing. Don't blow out your candles.
No, yeah, that was like, Jesus Christ. I felt most bad for her. I'm like, she really did not deserve this shit.
I mean, she put on a costume and everything. Went to this party with her boyfriend. She was even going to clean up the decorations herself and let him fuck.
Yeah, she was going to let him fuck too. She said, okay, put on the tape, which is just a porno.
Yeah,
I forgot what it said. It said like nature sounds or something like that. I forgot what it said. Or nature video or something like that, which was funny.
But yeah, she puts up with a lot of bullshit to just get killed. I don't know. But I think they could have made her more egregious.
Yeah, I agree.
At least a little bit. But maybe that's the point. They're like, oh, Sam will do whatever he wants.
It was fun. It doesn't bother me too much.
Yeah.
I guess we can get back to the whole
back on to the bus driver guy.
So yeah, I was saying, I feel like that the whole attack did drag for me.
I actually quite like that fight, Evan.
Okay.
Because I like the way that the tension kind of rises and falls. And I think it's great because what happens, right? Like he's looking for Sam. He doesn't know what Sam looks like or is. He just knows something's in his house. So he goes to look for Sam, and then he turns the light on. The light explodes, and Sam runs by. And he got the toolie.
He does.
He has the toolie.
He does.
And one thing I thought was really fucking clever was in the beginning of the movie during the serial killer dad part. He's like, what's that racket? I got a motherfucking shotgun over here. Like, you don't even know what's gonna happen. And then, like, he has the shotgun at the end. Which is, I mean, it's like a... I don't know, it's like a really sleight of hand kind of like, oh, if you show the loaded gun, you gotta use it later.
Yeah.
It was kind of like a really slick version of that. I like that. But anyway, so he takes the toolie, and he's walking around like Winnie the Pooh, and he has his gun, Evan, and he goes upstairs, and he's chasing Sam, and Sam kind of pulls a little trick on him, and he pulls a little prank on him, and he slashes his fucking Achilles tendon, and
What a prank.
what a prank. And so yeah, this dude's fucked.
That reminded me of fucking Hostel.
Hostel?
Yeah.
What's Hostel?
It's a horror movie. Irrelevant, but there's this part where he cuts his dude's Achilles heels.
I know.
That's what I thought about when I saw it.
I know I've heard it. I heard of it.
That's what I thought about when I saw that. I was like, oh,
What
shit.
is it?
It's just like...
Is it a
I think we
Japanese-
talked about it. No, it's not. We talked about it in Audition.
Hostel.
It's an American movie. It's just one of the fucking
It's
torture
a Saw
movies.
movie, right? Right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just one of those torture
It's
movies.
like it's
yeah.
Okay, I have heard of that. But yeah, so he's fucking slashes his little Achilles tendon. What do? They chase him down the stairs or something?
Yeah, I think you're right.
Whatever it is. But I like how, there's the tension of trying to find Sam. Sam attacks him, and then he blows Sam's fucking head off. And then he puts another one in Sam's guts. And then he's just kind of on the ground trying to get his bearings. Sam's fucking hand comes alive.
Okay, is this a good time to bring up Sam's face?
Sure.
I did not like how it
At
looked
some
at
point during this fight,
the mask comes off.
before he shoots him in the face.
The old guy ripped the mask off.
Yes.
If you see it. I did not like how his face looked.
Sam's face.
And his mask and his costume are really cool.
I think his design in general is great. And also, like, the shattered, well, not shattered, but, like, the bite out of the lollipop as a weapon looks cool.
Yeah, cool.
I like it. I also I'm not a huge fan of it. It looks like the horror movie Jack Frost.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of it either. I kind of like it, I guess. Could have done without it.
Yeah, for sure.
Could have done without it. But it also does kind of confirm for you that it's like, this is an entity, not any type of person.
Yeah.
But also it's like, what kind of person has a giant, big, fucking Stewie Griffin head?
Yeah.
So you never really would have thought it was a... But either...
I think I could have done without the unmasking.
Me too.
Yeah,
I could have done without it. I think, you could have played that scene in such a way that it was like similar, but you just don't do that.
Yeah.
I really don't mind it though. I guess it's not like you said.
I just don't like how he looks.
No, like you said, it's not great, but I like the way it plays out, and I really like the little kid laugh.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah,
his little kid voice is awesome because it feels like Oogie Boogie.
Kind of, yeah.
From Nightmare, where it's just like,
he has like the mouth on the fucking like puppet type body. Not puppet, like what's the word I'm looking for?
Muppet?
No, not Muppet. Like, what's
Scrumpet?
Oogie Boogie? Like,
the
like
sack.
a sack. Yeah, yeah.
What is it called? A burlap sack.
Yeah.
I love that look for a horror mask. It looks great. I mean, like the first Jason mask was just like a burlap sack.
Yeah, it was. Fun
It's
fact.
a good look.
He didn't have the hockey mask thing until like the third movie.
Part 3 was when Jason had his look.
Yeah, which is very strange.
That is pretty weird, right? Especially considering that fucking those movies came out after Halloween.
Yeah.
You wait 3 movies to copy Halloween. Like the look. Like,
do you think it's a copy? The hockey mask?
More or less.
I can see what you mean, I guess. Yeah.
It's just a jumpsuit with a white mask.
Yeah.
It's pretty much the same. So Samuel, what were we talking about? Samuel?
Yeah.
He do a funny scream and
he lets the old man live. So
well, I was gonna say no. Okay, I love the moment where the hand attacks the guy. The hand basically walks back over to Sam and reattaches.
Yeah, that was cool. It reminded me of Evil Dead.
Sam. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Honestly, the whole Sam, like, pretty much that whole scene reminds me of Evil Dead a little bit. I like that.
Kind of like this. Like, there's a scene in Evil Dead 2. Well, there's a lot of Evil Dead 2, but where he's like in like the kitchen in the cabin, where it's just completely like a slapstick fight scene with his fucking hand.
Yeah.
It's kind of similar to that.
Yeah. But I like the way that fucking the hand wakes Sam up, jumps back on his wrist, and then Sam kind of looks over back at the bus driver, and he just kind of I don't know if you could call it a smile.
Yeah.
But he kind of looks over at him with kind of a look. And then I forget what he says exactly, the bus driver, but he's just like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
Yeah.
Like, I love that. That was like, because I say that, if you want to know a cool Dylan quote, number one,
A cool Dylan quote.
I say,
one.
"Are you fucking kidding me?" Like, so often.
New segment on the show.
When I'm actually mad, I say, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
Yeah.
Like, so often, especially if I'm driving or something. So just the way
It's not too out of pocket.
That's not too out of pocket.
It's not too out of pocket, though. Yeah.
But just the way he said it just sounded so
Yeah.
real. It sounded so real to me that it was just, I don't know, it was fucking funny. That's the one part I laughed at, and I also liked when the kid said Charlie Brown's an asshole.
Yeah, that was funny.
That was funny. He said, "Go inside and watch Charlie Brown."
I laughed a few times. I thought I don't know if I'd say it's a horror comedy, but it's definitely angling towards that. I think.
Yeah. It's closer to.
Because I don't think it's a horror comedy in the way like Evil Dead 2 is.
Yeah.
But it definitely, it has in comedic elements.
Or like Tucker and Dale. You ever seen that?
No, I haven't.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
It's really not bad. It's closer to like Tucker and Dale than Evil Dead.
I would say so. Yeah.
Maybe. I haven't seen Tucker and Dale in a while. But he winds up going to stab the bus driver after their little scuffle. He accidentally stabs a big old Toblerone.
The candy with the razor bar in it.
And
the razor blade.
You don't really... That's one thing I love about this fucking movie is like trying to get a read on Sam. It's really fun.
Uh-huh.
It's really fun. So I think it's almost like... did he do that for dramatic effect to fuck with the bus driver? Or
he had like some kind of moment of realization or something.
Or did he happen to stab the candy and say, "You know what? That's it. You got lucky. I'm just going to eat this candy and fuck off."
Yeah.
And
it's interesting. I don't know.
The zombies happened to come? Or was Sam kind of orchestrating the entire thing?
Where it's like, yeah, I'm going to make you think you're going to live, but no, the zombie kids are actually on their way here to fucking kill you.
Yeah, or maybe was he like, I don't know, was he just having his fun? Or
yeah.
I like it.
I do like that too, yeah.
I think he's one of the most interesting, like, kind of, especially Halloween characters, I guess, because there's fucking none of them.
Yeah.
But he's one of the more interesting, like, slasher or, like, monsters or whatever. I really like him. And you know what, Evan? I like his big pumpkin brain, so fuck you.
To each your own.
Maybe that's why he doesn't like pumpkins getting smashed, because he's a pumpkin.
That makes sense. Yeah. Kind of. Yeah. But just in general, if you're just fucking up people pumpkins, you're kind of an asshole.
Oh yeah, what if this whole movie is just like, they said like, oh, what if the Great Pumpkin was real and rated R?
That's what somebody said that?
Dylan said that.
Oh.
I'm just saying like...
I can see that.
I'm just saying like, what if that was the pitch?
Maybe I can see that, yeah. A little bit. That's a festive Halloween movie.
Charlie Brown?
Yeah.
That's like the other one.
Yeah. I think I like that a little bit more than Trick or Treat.
Oh, come on.
That's a classic.
Oh, come on.
That's a classic.
Charlie Brown's an asshole.
I mean, it's funny. Yeah, they fucking reference Charlie Brown in it. Yeah, that's funny. I Gotta Rock, though. I mean, does anything in Trick or Treat beat I Gotta Rock?
Not really.
Yeah.
Actually, no. That you know what? You're kind of right on that. That's a funny ass motherfucking joke.
It is.
And all the fault, like, is it the messy kid or is it Charlie Brown that has like the 100 holes in his ghost sheet?
Yeah, Pigpen, I think.
Is it Pigpen? Yeah. That's funny.
It is.
Well, I fuck with Charlie Brown, even though he's an asshole.
He is, but no, I fuck with Charlie. Charlie Brown, depressed child representation. I fuck with it.
Yeah, we don't get enough of those.
He was an OG depressed child.
Charlie Brown is the original Eva.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, fuck Shinji. Give us Charlie Brown. Yeah, Trick or Treat. It was a good movie.
My friend, do you have any more thoughts?
I have a question to ask you.
Please do.
It is relevant to Trick or Treat.
Oh.
Tell me your thoughts on this supposed part 2 that's happening.
I have no fucking clue.
You don't have any thoughts on it?
I think it'd be really cool.
It would be cool, yeah.
Because I think especially, is it the same guy?
Yeah. I think it's like for a long time they kept saying like, yeah, part 2's going to happen. And I think it's finally actually like he's working on it actively now. I could be wrong, but...
I typed in Trick or Treat on Letterboxd to check out what the other director had done, which is when I found out that sadly he had created the worst Godzilla movie. When I also checked that out, I saw a listing for Trick or Treat 2.
Yeah.
So I was like, what the fuck?
I think it's been like he's been saying for a long time he wanted to make it. Now I think it's actually like starting.
Hell
to get
yeah!
now.
Double the budget, put that shit on HBO Max, and make it like 2 hours long.
No, just keep it similar to this one. Just give us some different stories.
You could even give him a series.
That might be better, honestly.
Give him a series,
Yeah.
and then like you could watch it, and it could be like Arrested Development season 5 or whatever. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Where everyone was like, you have to watch the whole thing to get it. Like it's kind of anthology, but it's like you can watch each one standalone, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That'd be a bit better. Is this on HBO Max? The movie?
No,
It's not.
it's not.
Oh, okay.
It's on Hulu.
It's on Hulu.
Yeah,
Interesting.
I bought it on YouTube actually.
I rented it off Amazon.
My alternative streaming services were down.
The alternative.
They've been down for a few weeks.
I did. Oh Jesus, you down bad?
I've been down bad,
Yeah,
son. Wait, because what was the last 3 episodes? I watched The Crow completely legitimately, I think.
Okay.
And I also watched...
Audition. I gave you a Blu-ray to watch it.
Yeah, and the
then,
Audition you loaned me, and then I bought The Fly.
Yeah, The Fly. I also
Rented.
rent out. No, I got the free subscription for AMC on Amazon.
You cheesed AMC.
Yeah.
But this one, how much was it on Amazon? Just
It
curious.
was $2.99.
Me too.
Yeah.
YouTube.
Usually that's how much streaming rentals are.
It's the only way you could watch goddamn movies on YouTube is if you get YouTube and fucking rent them
Yeah.
off of YouTube. But YouTube has a good ass selection.
They do.
Crazy selection.
They have a lot of stuff.
And it's pretty cheap.
Yeah, if Weird was like Amazon or Netflix has like certain right to certain things, and YouTube almost has like a lot of the shit like that they both have.
Yeah, well, it's because you have to pay.
Yeah, that is why. But
it's rented always, but they do have a great selection.
Yeah.
But it's super handy. But yeah, I give Trick or Treat 3 out of 3 candy corns.
Nice. I would give it a 7 out of 10.
What is that? That rounds down to 2 out of 3 stars, doesn't it?
I guess it would be 2 out of 3. Yeah. Yeah, because I wouldn't say I loved it. I would say I liked it. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Good movie.
If I want to, like, if my little son was like 10 years old and he was like, Dad, I want to watch a scary movie, I would watch this with him or her.
That's a good choice.
If it was My Beautiful Daughter.
It's a good choice.
Yeah.
Halloween might be a good choice too, because I always said
like
really scary. I watched Halloween at a young age.
This just really fucking connected with me. I don't know. Halloween's not really like magical. This movie's like magical to me. I fucking love this movie. It's like, it's not perfect, but there is like an element of it that's like fucking magical to me.
No, I agree. Like I said, in that respect, it's very unique. The fact that it feels like a Christmas movie, except it's Halloween. Yeah, that's really cool.
I wouldn't even call it whimsical.
No,
I would not call it whimsical.
I'm not saying that,
but it's like, I'm not saying you are, but it's like I didn't want to make it sound that way.
Yeah.
Like it's not whimsical, but it's like magical.
Yes, yeah. I agree.
Very fucking sweet movie.
I agree. So that's all I had to say about Trick or Treat.
But Trick or Treat 2, Matthew Vaughn or whatever the fuck your name is,
Matthew Vaughn.
Fucking consult.
Are we gonna review The King's Man?
Fuck no. Jesus Christ.
Can we do a 5-minute review for it at the beginning of an episode?
Sure. We did it for Venom. We might as well do it for fucking Kingsman. No, fucking give me a job. Make me an extra in Trick or Treat 2.
Yeah.
Or let me write something.
Can you play Grown Up Sam?
Or let me play Grown Up Sam, which sounds like the coolest thing ever. No, that sounds fucking
stupid.
Okay. Anyway, yeah. What is he? What's a grown up version of? He has a dildo, a glass dildo.
That'd be interesting.
That's the adult version of a lollipop, right? I don't know.
That'd be interesting.
I don't know. That sucks. I just lost a job. He's not gonna hire me now.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, I am actually really hyped for Trick or Treat 2. Hopefully that happens. But apparently it's been in development hell for like 4 years.
Yeah.
So.
He's too busy making Godzilla King of Monsters.
He's too busy making nothing fucking else. He made Trick or Treat and that, and that's like it, right?
Yeah, I don't know what else he directed.
So, and then like 3 short films or some shit. Yeah.
Do something else, bro.
Yeah.
Do Trick or Treat 2 and then do something else.
Do Trick or Treat 2 and then, do whatever you want. Trick or Treat was awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, Trick or Treat.
Yeah.
That's it for me.
That about does it.
Yeah. Thank you guys for listening. Before we leave, though, I will say we do have Cool Dylan fact number. Is it 5? I'm going to stop counting. I'm just going to say, here's your Cool Dylan fact for the day.
Okay.
Cool Dylan fact for the day is Dylan's first job was at a Wendy's.
Oh, just like Chris Chan.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. One other thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mentioned being the Joker for Halloween, but I'm not. Evan is still
I committed.
Evan committed to drive, But I found fucking a sweet NECA, the toy company. They
this mask is super sweet.
Yeah, I love the Casey. It's a Casey Jones mask from Ninja Turtles, and I'm probably gonna go to Goodwill and try and find some like gray sweatpants.
Yeah, in a black tank top. That's all you need.
And he wears a white tank top.
I thought black.
No.
Oh,
you idiot.
Sorry.
Watch more Ninja Turtle. But yeah, I'm gonna just take pictures in the costume and then not do anything.
Yeah, that's what I did.
That's what I'm gonna do. So, our plans fell through.
It's okay. We had a good time. We came and recorded RNS, watched a good movie. I can't complain.
I want to cap it off with one. I want to regale you with another tale, Evan.
Okay.
Earlier, I popped into my Uncle Jim. As you heard, his existence was confirmed in the last episode by Evan.
Yes.
So I went into my Uncle Jim's room. I was like, oh yeah, I'm not doing anything. I'll probably hand out candy tomorrow. And he's like, oh, don't bother. He's like, I wouldn't bother. Just turn the light off and whatever.
Jesus.
But you know what? Sam taught me that it's...
I'm going to say, yeah. I'm like, this is relevant.
You know what Sam taught me? He taught me that you got to give them the candies out or you get killed.
Yeah, you got to have the spirit.
Yeah, have the spirit. Because we don't have any decorations up, but I'll turn my little porch light on and I'll hand out... Every year I like to buy big candy bars. Because we don't even get that many kids. And it's like, fucking, I spend like $3.
It feels like kids don't trick or treat anymore.
I
guess we can talk about this a little bit, but yeah.
Yeah, it's relevant, right?
It doesn't seem like kids really trick or treat too much.
Trick or treating is the funnest fucking thing in the universe.
I know, right? I loved it as a kid.
Yeah. Me and Evan trick or treat together.
Yeah, we've done it multiple times.
How many times did we do it? Probably 5.
We were a little old. Like, we were doing it a little, like, past the time we should have been doing it.
We probably did it until, like...
I think the last time we did it.
Not quite the end of high school, but we did it in high school.
Jesus Christ. I can't believe I'm exposing myself like that, but yeah, we probably did.
I mean, honestly, I used to think...
It was fucking awesome, though. I don't give a shit. It was awesome.
I want to say real quick, my cousin Lauren, I still do, but I used to think she was really fucking cool. Which, like I said, I still do. I love you, Lauren, but I used to think she was so fucking cool, and then, like, anything she did that I would find questionable now, I still look back on as it being cool.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, she was in high school with her friends going trick-or-treating, and they were just all these weird goth kids. And, like, they were just like, yeah, let's go get candy. And they'll just, like, they'll just give us candy. It's fine. And as a kid, I was like, God, you're so fucking cool. I don't know what it was.
No, I can see that.
It's just this weird memory I have. And I remember the first time I heard what a condom was. It was because Lauren was being, like, very, what's the word? Abrasive about it, and she was like telling Terry, my aunt, she was like, I'm being a condom. You have to fucking wrap me in duct tape to be a condom.
Did she actually dress as it?
Yeah. And I was like, what is that?
Thank you, Lauren.
Yeah, thanks, Lauren.
Lauren taught you about safe sex.
Lauren gives me some good Halloween memories.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Lauren.
Lauren, cool.
Yeah, Lauren, cool.
Thank you, Lauren. Yeah, it did. That was a good way to end the episode, I think.
Yeah, hell yeah. Love the family, love Halloween. Dude, if you're out there, if you're listening to this, don't sit on your hands and do nothing. Don't fucking fuck your thumb and do nothing. Go gather your friends, gather your family, get some candy, hand out some candy.
Dylan, you sound like you need to sneeze.
I'm not going to sneeze. My nose is just full of fucking snot.
Oh, okay.
So just grab your friends, grab your family, fucking while they're there, while they're still alive. They're going to die one day. They're going to die soon. So while they're with you, while you have the time to celebrate them, do some celebrating.
All right, Dylan.
What?
That was good. A good way to end this episode. But, dear viewers, we have a showing of Last Night in Soho we got to make, so... Thank you for listening.
Oh, yeah. Thank you for listening. And once again, happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. Bye-bye.